Happy Friday, everybody. Hey, welcome into the Grounds, the most unique show here on 216 Creator Studios platform. This is a 216 Creator Studios podcast. And big shout out to our friends over at Minuteman Press here. Yep. Minuteman Press. If you need a banner made, your logo on clothes, anything of that nature, they can help you out. I see Tim Santos is in. Good morning, Steve. Down there, if you want to let Steve in, looks like he's coming in from Vegas or something. I don't know where he's
I see his giant face.
Yeah. But here's
how we doing, guys?
Hey, good, man. How are you, brother?
Not too bad. Morning from Vegas.
Hey.
Yeah.
Nice. Remember, what happens there stays there. Except for
unless I talk about it live on air.
Yeah. Right. And of course, check out Minuteman Press here at Crystal Lake. They're awesome. I see Tim Santos is in. Tim, good morning. Hey, look, if you want,
morning, Don.
If you're looking to change careers, the Santos Agency, Health Markets, he is looking to hire some people and help people change directions in their life. So if you want to work for an incredible guy and a team over there in McHenry,
that's awesome.
Yeah, reach out to the Santos Agency, Health Markets, right on Green Street. Don, good morning. Glad to have you. Today, I was listening to a podcast, one of my favorite podcasts. It's become We're Here to Help with Jake Johnson and Gareth Miller or something like that. Not Miller, but anyway, Gareth.
Way to give him credit.
Yeah. If you're a New Girl fan, you know that Jake Johnson was Nick Miller on New Girl, right? So I think he's hilarious, a great comedian and actor. And they had a question on there. What's your biggest fear? Everybody's afraid of stuff, but what is the one thing? What is the one biggest fear that you have? Right. Good morning, Shannon. Digging the AM Vegas voice. That's it. So, have you struck it rich out there, or are you just going to buffets and shows?
Oh, it's all the food and the shows. Yeah. Haven't gambled yet.
Well, gambling is going out there.
You mean you haven't given your money away yet? But.
Oh yeah. Normally, Sam and I will take $20 or $40 and put it all on black before we leave.
I don't think you can say that.
That's racist.
There you go, Mr. Johnson.
Well, that's our show today, folks.
Like you said, what happens in Vegas? I mean,
Don says, when I lived in McHenry, Minuteman Press was my go-to printer. They were fantastic.
Yeah, Tom's a good guy.
Yep,
they still are fantastic. So, what's your biggest fear, man? What is that one thing? It's your biggest fear?
Something bad happening to my children. You know, I think that would be they're my everything. Is my family. So, obviously, you know, there's so much bad that happens in the world, especially with kids. Or you find out they got the big C, or if something happens,
so them maybe going
taken or something bad, just really bad.
So them saying, "Hey, I want to go to summer camp on Epstein Island," would be.
There won't be an island when I'm done at that point. Right. There just won't be.
Hey, there's this neat island. We're getting flown in.
Right. Some guy named Epstein. Yeah, I want to say, listen, everybody's got when you think fear, you think yourself. When you get so much tragedy in your life, you fear nothing amongst yourself. Yeah. It's just the ones that you love. I'm 51 years in. My kids have a whole life.
You look great.
Oh yeah, thanks.
It's the black.
It's the touch up on the camera, right? Right.
We got filters going on?
Yes, all the filters.
Okay.
Yeah, it is. I'm really not even here. But yeah, I want to say my kids, man.
Yeah.
What about you?
Something that would have, whether it's physical or anything, right? I mean,
anything. You want nothing but the best for your children. If you're a real parent, I should say. But yeah, I want them to be able to grow and experience as much into this world as possible, in a positive fashion.
Yeah, that's a big fear to have, right? Because hey, you know what? Too. Let's rewind this. Let's rewind this real fast.
Yeah.
one of our dear friends.
Very good friend.
And he's been on the show and just a great guy. Chris.
Yep.
He won his battle with cancer and crossed over. This week. We've had him on a couple shows. He was a big part of Shared Connections.
Yep.
And a realtor, helped several families over the years. And this was literally a dude that I don't know if anybody ever had a bad word to say about.
No.
And July was a brutal month for him.
Yeah.
And Chris fell into that with Ozzy Osbourne and Hulk Hogan and all those.
Well, and you think about it. So, with Chris, he sat at this table, did an episode with us while he was battling cancer. The hard part about all that, for me, is he was like a brother to me. Yeah. And I've only known him for like 4 years.
Yeah.
Other people that were real close to him, blessings to Jeff Lord out there, who was side by side with this kid for many years. Yeah. The big pain and the fear, and that's why I bring this up, is Chris's father lost his other son to a double lung transplant that didn't go right, and then maybe a year or so down the line lost his wife, and now Chris. So that's not supposed to happen.
No. Yeah. That's crazy.
So my fear would be just that, Chris, to me, won the game. There's a perception to this for me, and he helped so many people to where all the great ones get taken. Yep. They leveled up. They're on the new game. It's a hard void for us, but for him, I congratulate him. Yeah. For being the person he was and leaving that legacy of who he is, and he'll live on through that legacy.
Yeah,
hands down.
Absolutely. Well, thanks for the bright side.
Wow.
Yeah, right.
Be a little sunshine.
But that's what I'm saying is that fear. If that's your greatest fear, then that fear, that's 80 years of fear. If your child lives,
of course,
to be 80, right? I mean, they're always your children, and so that's not a fear that hypnosis or anything can kind of overcome, because that's a long ass time,
Yep.
And so I mean, you can sit in that and wallow in that, and you can kind of get lost in that fear a lot, right? To where then you're like a big mother hen,
a helicopter.
Yeah. In and keep
try not to. It's hard not to be that person, because they have to. Suffering's part of life, and it helps you gain strength. And every kid should know how to suffer a little bit in order to be grateful.
Yeah, fall down, break your knee, learn.
Absolutely. Be grateful for the things and toughen you up. But when it gets to those severe things, it's like, whoa,
Yeah, I agree. Shana says, good perspective, Cappuccino. Nobody gets out alive.
That's right.
Live now. Yeah.
Especially when you have like a kid, like most of the time you're prepping for their life. You set savings aside for, okay, when they turn 16, we'll have enough money to give them $5,000 for a car, or 21 or 30. Those are kind of like the big,
blah, blah, blah.
But it's like nobody puts money aside for when children pass away, because that's the last thing you think about when you hold a child.
And if you need good life insurance, so reach out.
We'll come to the event September 19th.
Hey,
absolutely.
That's right. September 19th, we've got the
Always and Forever event. So my event will go to parents who have lost unexpected children. So we'll help with funding with financial, funeral costs, and medical bills. So
that's huge.
You're awesome.
I have a big website for
That's awesome.
Yeah.
My fear kind of plays along with Drew's though. So because unfortunately I'm a parent who's lost a child and have a child. So mine is more my motherhood. Like it's either going to consume me or it's going to take over. Because a lot of times, like when my son even goes to the hospital now, like he got a minor concussion last weekend. And apparently with little kids, you can seize when you have a minor concussion. I haven't seen a child seize since my daughter passed away.
Sure.
So I went into like multiple panic attacks, and it kind of took me out for 48 hours.
PTSD kicks in.
Yeah. So it's one of those where if you haven't lost a child, people don't understand the way that I move.
Right.
And they don't understand that when I'm in the hospital and little kids are crying, I just cry. Because when my daughter was crying in the hospital, it was like I was helpless. I couldn't do anything about it. And no parent likes to feel helpless.
Right.
So I would say like my biggest fear is motherhood. I don't want it to take over what I'm trying to achieve in life. So that's why I'm really trying to bleed into my event and support the community, because I don't want other parents to feel the same way that I do. It's shitty. So, and if I can help it within my control, then I do the best that I can. But I want everything to be all natural. Like Mother Nature is here for a reason.
That's it.
Oh
So,
yeah.
That's it.
listening to song bowls is probably what helps with my biggest fear. Puts me out. So it's like meditation. Yeah. It's so peaceful. They have a place down in Crystal Lake and it's so nice.
Yep. Yep.
So
yeah, and that and as a parent, or to that point, it's interesting that you say that. I don't want my motherhood, that's your biggest fear. And as the way that I parent, I look at you and go, well, what? Yeah, but I haven't been through the same shit you have, and so that's the one thing about your fear is it's yours,
Correct.
right? And I can't sit here and say you're crazy. Just think positive. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Oh, I hate that. Oh, I hate
what I
that.
mean?
I told you now I should get the. You already had a broken toe. I mean,
You'll have more than
Three.
blue balls. I'll tell you
That's
that.
right.
That's because I dipped.
That's right. That's right.
But it's that's
Blueberry
that's
tea.
the whole thing, and then fear is just false evidence appearing real.
Mm.
Like,
Hmm.
like my shirt. I have one that says face everything. All right. So,
Well, fear is just one emotion to many,
Yeah.
and it's there. So I guess what is your fear?
My fear is being buried alive.
That's a bad one.
Listen, I don't like. I can't watch spelunkers. You ever see these things like on TikTok and whatnot? That
so you wouldn't go in a cave?
Oh, no way.
thing.
No way. Can't do that either.
There's a show on Netflix right now. It's The Ranger. It's the guy who's like a ranger and a young lady from
Timid.
I don't know.
Or tamed.
Maybe
Is it tamed.
Yeah, maybe tamed. And she gets dropped in. They're out in like Yellowstone or whatever. She falls down an old mine shaft, and then she sees and she tries to crawl out, and she gets stuck.
Yeah, that's not cool.
I'm like,
Yeah.
I can't even watch it. Right. Whatever. In my past life or whatever, I was buried alive or whatever. Claustrophobia city.
Yeah.
I cannot imagine, right, being buried alive and just, you have dust falling on you or whatever, and you can't breathe and you just slowly feel yourself die, right? I'm not afraid to die. I think I'm afraid of the process, right? But my biggest fear, absolutely 100%, I don't know where it comes from.
Yeah,
is being buried alive.
And that's a good one. The drowning, buried alive, or being burned to death is like a horrible vision in your own life.
Yeah.
And I'm with you. You like when you're watching people in caves and they're like, all we got to do is clear some of these little rocks and then squeeze through this little, or even them going into a tunnel where you go head first. And like, what if you have to back out? What do you do? Like, we're going to go through this venting system. I did confined space training for one of the unions out here for lead and asbestos removals in my younger days. And we had to go to a school for how to abate asbestos and lead. Well, part of that was confined space training. And what they do is they lower you in a sewer well that's completely like this. And they would put a whole hazmat suit on you. And they would lower you in. And you got this little scraper and this little thing. And you're just out there spraying water on stuff and then trying to scrape. But you're up just about this far. It's just above your head.
Yeah.
And I lost my shit. I couldn't. I couldn't do it. And they were just like, just breathe. And I'm like, if you don't let me out of here, when I do get out of here, we're going to have a serious fucking problem. I was losing my shit.
So like 3, 5, 7, maybe years ago now, 7 years ago, I had to get an MRI. Right now, an open MRI, I'm okay. It's like pulling under a car because an open MRI,
it's free space. Yeah,
you can see, right? And I was over at Northwest Hospital in Huntley, and it's huge. You walk in, and it's a huge thing, and I'm like, they're like, I said, oh man, I should be okay in there. It's huge, right? And so it was up my shoulder. It was up my shoulder. So they lay you down and then they strap you in,
Mhm.
right? And they put headphones on you, and you got like a little thing to squeeze if you get scared,
Hmm.
right?
The doctor's balls.
And so, yeah.
I'm a sad guy.
Just give it a little tug when you're ready to come out.
So literally, they put me on this thing. I'm like, oh, no, I'm okay. But then the bed rises up.
Yeah. You get like this or
Yeah, it rises up to where like your face is within 3 to 4 inches of the top, and I start to panic because I can't see out. Right, I don't know what's happening. And I start squeezing the thing like, and they pull me out. Are you okay? Good. No,
Sir,
I'm
we
not.
haven't even started yet.
Yeah, right. I'm like, no, I'm not okay. I need something. No, it's too late for something because of the medicine we gave you for this stuff. And I'm like, I can't do this. And well, you have to do this. I go, I can't do this. And so,
You're doing it.
And so they're like, here, this helps. Why don't we put a wet washcloth over your eyes? I'm like, God, no.
They're gonna waterboard you too.
I'm like, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Right. And I'm doing, I'm a pretty positive guy. So I'm doing everything I can to psych myself up. Like, it's okay, buddy. It's people do this all the time. But I'm laced in there. And then they put a thing over my head that had a mirror that I could see my feet, right? Which helped. But I was still freaking out. And literally for this 45-minute MRI, because they're not.
And you're supposed
fast.
to sit still.
You're supposed to sit
and
still.
hold your breath.
Right.
Right. A nurse had to hold my hand. I had to have a nurse hold. You're a grown ass man, right?
Those outside world
in his late 40s, and she had to sit there for 45 minutes and just hold my hand. And yeah, I couldn't hear her, right? Because you got the headphones on or whatever. Because and with that, with that, I was okay holding her hand because I'm like, well, there's a way out. Right. But at that point, no. When I say in my past life, I must have been buried alive. I must have been something.
Yeah.
Because and it, when I was younger, big deal, right? You crawl,
When you're a kid, you have no fear of anything.
When
you don't analyze anything.
When we lived on the farm in Michigan, we had a hay barn, and you made tunnels under the hay bales.
Yep.
Right. Yeah, I'd crawl in and out of there. No problem.
Did the same with snow. I mean,
Yeah. So what must have happened is at some point, I must have been buried alive in a past life, because now I'm like, oh, I can't. I don't even like my head's under the covers. It's
like that TV show. What was it called back in the day, where people, if they could like stay in like a coffin for so long, then they got like $100,000 when they came out. Right. Do you know what I'm talking about, Steve?
I think it was called Buried Alive.
Yeah.
It's called Buried Alive. Yeah, no, thank you.
But yeah, then people used to sit in there with like thousands of spiders, and then they had to talk it through. And
Fear Factor.
Thank you.
Rogan.
Joe Rogan. No. That stuff.
That one was horrible.
Yeah,
but here's the thing: if you are scared of a coffin, it doesn't matter, because you could be scared of the scorpions or the snakes or whatever the hell they're throwing on top of you. That's just crazy.
But yeah, so I mean, even like back in the pandemic days, I didn't like having a mask over my face. Just something, you know what I'm saying? It was just that confining, like,
yeah, no.
I agree. I never got acne until the pandemic. The damn mask made me sweat so damn much.
Yeah, that was.
You felt better when they let you out of the cage.
Yeah.
Right. What about you, Steve?
It rubs lotion on
it. It's funny. Like, I'm not a fan of confined spaces, but I wouldn't consider it an active fear, only because I consider the chances of myself getting caught in a cave less than zero. I'm not going near a cave. I don't go near caves. I don't have to worry about getting stuck in a cave, because I'm not going to be walking near a cave or diving near a cave or exploring anything near a cave that's small enough for me to get stuck in. So it's if I did, I'd be terrified, but I'm not actively afraid of it, because no, my number one active fear, the thing that keeps me up at night most often, like if I'm worried about something, is my own mortality. It's this existential dread that I feel all the time when I consider the fact that this awesome life that I love so much is just one day not going to be here for me.
Yeah. That's a common fear too.
Yeah,
people have that.
It's the third most common fear.
Yeah.
More people are scared of spiders than are scared of death. For some reason, that always made me heights too. Why? You're afraid of heights because heights lead to death. Why would you not just be afraid of death? I don't understand why more people choose heights than death.
Yeah, it's got the end result. And listen, you know, when you have mortality issues, one of those things where your consciousness, because you want that to stay around, because that's what it really ties to, right? And that's why I used to have panic attacks over mortality issues. I could, until I started losing all kinds of people, and then I'm like, there's no stopping it. So stop worrying about it and live it while you have it. So that's kind of like the new motto. And whatever happens, happens. Because realistically, at the end, when you're gone, you don't know it.
That's right.
You know what I
That's
mean?
right.
It's
I'm
just one of
afraid to
those
die.
things.
That's what
Right.
people ask. I go, I ain't afraid to die. I'm afraid of the process.
The
of dying.
process, right? Yes.
You feel it slipping. You see that sand starting to go.
Yeah.
Right. And it, life don't make sense to me anyway. I mean, some people live to be 102. Some people live to be two hours. You know what I mean? So it's a weird thing.
Yeah.
To
Here,
me.
let's
right?
read a few of these here. What do we got here?
Yeah. So Don says, me too. Not going to caves. As I have gotten older, it has gotten worse. I had an MRI last year, and the tube took more from me. Yeah, exactly, Don. I'm with you. Yeah. The fall does not kill you. It's the sudden stop at the end.
Well, that stop.
Exactly.
You know.
Right.
Yeah. Totally true.
I would say like another fear though for me would be the ocean, because that's not where humans grew up. We did not come. We're not meant to survive in the ocean. If I get lost,
Thalassophobia, is it deep water specifically, like the deeper parts?
the individuals who own the ocean, it's the sharks, it's the orcas, it's the dolphins, it's all the above. I don't care how much you are an expert at watching Shark Week.
In that ocean.
I was
okay?
just gonna say.
And
I was just gonna say.
I'm not. Listen, if I have to swim 5,000 miles to get to shore, I'm dead. Okay. I have to
Well,
say
no, that's a good one though. That's a really good one, because that is another random fear that I also share with you, is thalassophobia, which is the fear of deep bodies of water where you can't see the bottom. I'm an excellent swimmer. I could swim 10 miles if I had to. It doesn't matter, because if my feet can't touch the bottom, if I can't put my head under and still see everything around me, I'm gonna start to freak out. I like to be able to see. If I can swim in deep water if I can see all the way to the bottom,
So
but I have to be able to see everything around me. Otherwise, I start getting weird.
I'm that way as well. I mean, Spencer, my son, spent 9 years in the Navy.
Yeah.
He's getting out at the end of this month, and he sent me pictures when they were out at sea, and there's no horizon. The sky and the water are the same color.
Yep.
And looking at that, I'm like, oh. People like I know people who go on cruises. We've talked about this. I won't go on a cruise if I can't see the land. There's no hope for that, right?
no survival.
Well, and then imagine nighttime in the middle of the ocean.
Yeah,
Yeah,
not a
exactly.
chance.
It doesn't matter if you can swim it or not. You know there's
Yeah.
a chance.
Yeah.
Right.
But at the same time, I love to fly. I'll go up in a plane, and there's no problem with that, right? And I can be up above the clouds and not see land, and I'm like, this is so cool. We're above the clouds, right? So that doesn't freak me out. But if I'm on a boat and I can't see land, I've got an issue.
Yeah.
I've got a big issue.
Well, first of all, Steve's awesome because he always has the scientific name
Yeah, I know.
for
I love
whatever
you
the
for your
phobia is.
categories. Thank you.
Absolutely. We're on. It's a fuck that a phobia. The ocean is a mysterious place, right? We
Right.
know more about our space than we do our oceans.
Right.
And so when you're in the ocean, and I start watching some of these video clips on the Nature Channel or whatever, it's the sharks that don't scare me. It's the things, those common things, they don't scare me. I've seen those in the ocean. I've hey, you're over there, I'm over here. That's cool. But it's the things that you don't understand, like the walking, living plant with teeth and spikes that can kill you instantly. It's like, what the fuck is that?
Oh yeah. Or hey Drew, how about all these articles that like scientists are discovering 27,000-year-old living bacteria inside of ice caps, and you're like, no, freeze that again. We don't know what's going on. Don't unfreeze anything. Not at this point.
off the coast of Japan or something like that. They went 6 miles down and they found a living community of stuff.
Yep.
6 miles
Yep.
down.
And all prehistoric looking. Some of them are see-through, some of them light up. It's like, no.
First of all, God bless those scientists. I'm not getting in a tube with
Right.
you and going 6 miles.
Well, you're definitely not getting in a tube. So you're already safe. You're already safe.
But yeah, so there's some weird stuff. Don says a recent meme. I saw a list of top 10 ways to not get attacked by a shark, and not going into the water was not on the list.
I agree.
Sharknado. Well, we got Sharknado.
Like, and the shark is even the most deadliest animal in an ocean. But humans, we are not avatars. Okay, listen,
That's
we
right.
do not grow up in water. We
That's
grew up on land. That
Yeah.
is not our area.
We are not mermaids.
There's experts
mermaid.
in that
No.
area. So
It's cool that
not
we-
my survival.
We're
ground.
smart enough to build devices to go on it,
Right.
right? Or in it.
Or in it.
If you have that kind of nerve to do so, great. Your son being in the Navy, right? That's one of those things to where when you're out there, you're doing it 6 months at a time.
Yeah.
It becomes home.
Yeah.
Because you're on it. You already know the emergencies to it. They tell you the whole thing about why Navy people wear bell bottoms, because it's actually a flotation device. So is your hat. That's why
Yeah.
the sailor hats are
Right.
the way they want. Catch the air in the pockets of
Yeah.
the bottom of the bell bottoms. You tie them off, put them around your body.
I need some
Stuff like that. So they're trained. So they have actually, other than us common Joes, they have more of a survival tactic.
Yeah.
So if something bad happens, but still the walking plant with the spikes that can kill you instantly, there's no,
Yeah.
how do you know? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And some of the smartest creatures on this planet live. We think we're the smartest, but we're not. The
No.
octopus alone is smarter than we are.
We're like the
That's why it's very alienistic.
Well, we can reason. A lot of them can't, but we. It's smart.
Right.
Yeah.
So, Steve, small spaces for you, is that because you're like 6'3"? I mean, is that
the daddy.
It's not most small spaces. Like I'm fine getting a scan done because somebody's moving me in and out of there, right? Like it's not the same as if like I'm trapped by myself. I don't know. When I was a kid, I fell behind. You ever be crawling on stuff when you're a kid, and I fell between the couch and the window. And I got stuck there and I freaked out and I screamed my head off, and I was like full trapped for like an hour, and it was terrifying. And I don't like being confined and trapped, but again, I don't find myself there very often. It's been a long time since I tried to climb on the back of the couch. I learned my lesson.
your folks are probably, he'll figure it out.
My brother,
My mom wasn't home.
we got new sleeping bags, or our first
Oh, yeah.
sleeping bags as kids,
Oh,
and we
yeah.
would zip them up and then climb in head first. Well, there's no way to turn around in there, and I'm in there all the way, and I start freaking out.
Yeah.
That was the start of
That
confined
happened to me, too.
space.
That happened to me too.
Yeah.
Because I was so little, and then my feet got on
Yep.
the thing, and I couldn't figure out everywhere I
That's
went.
right.
I
You
couldn't find
were so now when you see, like
my
I say in the
brothers
movies,
out there.
right? When you watch the movies and they're like, we're gonna claw through these air ducts, and you see them doing this. I'm like, now it's one way. What happens if there's no way out the other side? How are you backing up in
Right.
reverse?
Where are you going?
To do you're not turning around.
Right.
And if you do, what if you're stuck? Now you're just fucked.
Yeah.
Now the smell will start happening when your body starts
Yeah,
decomposing. That's all. That's what.
Flipping over a car or something and being trapped in without a way out too, right? It's just kind of the same small space. What does Shana say? I would be horrified if I held influence over a bad decision. Fear of giving help that makes it worse. Just me.
I agree. Like when you give somebody advice and it ends up turning in a negative way.
Oh, I get it.
That's what she's saying. I would agree, but sometimes it's just they either take your advice or not.
Right.
Try not to hold yourself too much accountable for that, unless you're the one that's putting a gun to their head.
Right.
Yeah. So the movie, what does that say?
The movie Coma
Mm.
gave her something to ponder: the fear of vulnerability.
Yeah. So, my mom at one time, we bought this crypt for mom and dad bought it for themselves for their day to come. And it was one above because my mom was very claustrophobic. And so she was like, never put me in there. So she, instead, her answer was, just have me cremated. I'm like, that box is a lot smaller.
Yeah.
And then she said, well, I'll be already complete. There's no way my body's completely gone. And then my brother said, but what if your conscious is still there and you're burning in a box before you get in that little box?
Yeah.
And then I was like, fuck,
Why
why do you gotta go there?
Right.
You know, and then
No,
like she pondered it for a second. She's like, oh, hopefully it'll go over fast because those things are pretty hot. I'm like, oh my God.
Whoa.
that's
Extra fear on top of fear, right?
Yeah.
no, there's a Doctor Who episode that's exactly that. They find the afterlife, and everybody who got cremated is just eternally screaming. And they're like, ooh, wish we could have warned you ahead of time. And I was like, no, don't do that to me. How dare you? Why would you do that to me? That's horrible.
Yeah.
It's funny you guys talk about small places because I did an active shooter course when I worked at Baxalta as fraud and an expert. And so we had to do it every 3 years, and we had to do confined spaces just so you could get to a shooter, you know, because nobody looks up inside of vents.
Right.
Nobody looks up inside of the tunnels that were built for the plumbing and the piping of a school. So it's like we had to go through that. And they're like, you're good. I was like, no, I'm fine. Like I do Tough Mudders and we would do military races growing up as a child. So like I just got used to it. And my grandpa always taught me how to control myself. So it's like I have a Tough Mudder coming up August 23rd. There's like 16 obstacle courses where it's small spaces. You know, you got one, you go under and it's like an ice bath and all you see is a fence and maybe a little bit of light and you have to climb out of it. So to me, it's like,
So grandpa taught you how to handle it.
yeah,
What's the trick?
Yeah.
the mind. You have to tell yourself.
Well,
though,
of course to that, but
Right,
what
but he
do
used
you
to-
do?
I tell myself I can and I will, and I am fine. So that is what I tell myself.
Hmm.
And then it goes away. Like it's over quicker than you realize. Because
Yeah, and with those things too, they got people yelling at you. So like before your mind has a chance to question diving under that ice water into that dumpster and going through the other side, somebody's screaming at you, go, 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 go. So you don't really have time. You go. And then the next thing you know, you're on the other side freezing your ass off. It's awesome, actually.
yeah, I mean it
Well-
comes with training though, because he's yelled at us since we were like 4 years old.
All 13 voices in my head, including the one with an accent that I don't understand,
Right.
would also be yelling at me and be like, what the fuck are you doing?
Just fuck around and find out. Tell those 13 people find out.
Hey, that's Shayna says, yeah, being lit up. She goes, verse the bugs reclaiming your body over all those years.
Hey, I'm
Light
trying
me
to
up.
be a mummy. Let's go.
Light me up. Let's go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely. Hey, your second death will be your body being eaten by worms.
Yeah. Well,
Slowly over
no,
years.
that's, awesome.
Yeah,
I think I'm going to gain all kinds of new non-sleeping fears by the time I leave the show.
Well, everybody's afraid. You're always afraid of things, right?
something, yeah.
But I'm talking your biggest fear. You know what I mean? Every time that you think of it, you just tend.
When was the
to-
last time? Let's go here with it.
Yeah.
When was the last time you had the heart drop to your stomach, free fall fear feeling that something really bad is about to happen or is happening? Or that feeling when you were a kid, like you just got caught doing something horrible. Unless that's just me. I just did a lot of horrible things.
I don't know. If it's,
What was the last time you actually had that fight or flight fear?
for me, it would have been in that MRI.
In the MRI?
In the MRI. Yeah. I mean, I was cool until it went. And my nose was 3 inches from the.
Oh, yeah.
Mm,
Yeah.
I mean, that was 100%. It still gives me, and then this past year I had a CAT scan of my midsection, and as that machine came up, I was like, that fucking better stop.
Yeah.
And it did, and I went back. You know what I mean? I'm
Right.
like, oh, thank God. But impending doom.
I would have to say because I experienced quite a bit of like domestic violence, kind of growing up and stuff, and people I was around. And unfortunately for me, for a basketball team I used to play with, there was a coach that was into young girls.
Mm.
He's no
Coach
longer with
Epstein.
us, but he ended up like taking some of us girls one home, and there was like 3 of us inside of his room, and that was probably the most scared I've ever been in my entire life because there was some activity going on in that room that shouldn't have been going on, and I didn't know if I was ever going to be able to leave.
Mm.
So that was probably the time I was the most fearful. And since that day, when I get around certain people that make me very uncomfortable, I get a nosebleed.
Wow.
So it's like my body telling me to get the fuck out.
That's your son.
So yeah,
You're like 11 from Stranger Things.
Right.
So-
Yeah.
that show is creepy as fuck.
It is.
I can't watch that.
Steve, what about you?
Last time that so here's the thing, and it's gonna sound stupid, but I do this to myself sometimes. So like I'm really big into like physics and just, you know, basically reading things that get deep and make you feel very small. The problem is if you do this in the middle of the night and you're high and you're by yourself and you have nobody to bounce ideas off of, you will start to go down a real weird path. And like I'll do it to myself. My chest will start to hurt and I'll be like, oh man, everything's so insignificant. We're all gonna die. And then I'm like, no, why am I doing that? Like, and I have to fix it. But that happens to me. Like that's where I'll panic is like, yeah, like I said, man, that existentialism is real.
Yeah.
Essentialism. How do you even spell that?
You might want to try a different strand of weed.
I mean, you know, sometimes too, the signs of intelligence. He's a very smart guy.
He is.
Very
When your
smart.
brain doesn't shut off and you're adding things to it,
Mhm.
right? Back in my rave days, there was a lot of mind-altering substances that went on there, and I don't know. People are like, "This is great. I'm having a great time," and I'm just like, "Holy shit!" You know, right? I couldn't bear to deal with it. So, and you know, it's one thing when you're adding the substance to it, but if you're not, and it's really there consistently, that's that chronic anxiety that just it debilitates you.
Shane,
you know?
You know, when I was a kid, Carl Sagan talked about the eventual heat death of the universe. And from the ages of like 8 to like 12, I was never stopped talking to my mom about it. Like, you know, the universe is just going to end one day, right? It's just done. And she's like, yeah, it's like billions of years. Like, calm down. And I'm like, no, how are you so calm about this?
Shannon says, Kelsey, you seem very centered. Were you always that way?
My grandpa, I witnessed like a lot of violence growing up between both kind of my grandparents. My grandma was beaten a lot by my grandpa and stuff like that. So my grandpa, when he came to terms with like accountability of holding himself accountable for that, you know, he basically taught me, because he was in the military, that trauma is always going to come your way, but it depends on how you stand in front of it, you know? So I was always raised on you stand your ground. So that's how I became centered. Has I always been like this? No. I mean, I went down a pretty good cutting and suicide phase at one point in life. But I put pain with pain. So, and I'm the one that's in control of the pain. So I cut for a while. I stopped cutting about 4 years ago, but that's why I have a lot of tattoos now, because it's pain. It's pain from a trauma that I went through, and it's showing that I can do it, you know, that I can go through this pain and this trauma that this life gives us and still seek peace. So that's just how I go about it. And weed helps. Listen, Steve, the best hybrid I could tell you is OG and Jenny Kush. Okay, that is my shit. Does not make me feel out of this world.
No, if I got somebody to bounce ideas off of, it's different. You know, like if I could call Drew and be like, bro, you seen this thing? And like he'll be like, yeah, dude, you're not crazy. That'll center me right there. But when I can't, if I'm just sitting there by myself, nobody to talk to, that's when things get weird.
Shana says, wicked authentic.
Yeah.
For sure.
I mean, so people who know me, you know, I'm very zen. I'm very in the moment, right? I tend not to get over my skis. You know what I'm saying? Am I a dreamer? Absolutely. But I practice mindfulness all the time. That's why the buried alive thing for me is hard. Like I said, I ain't afraid to die. It's in the moment when you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's to your point, you've learned, okay, let me bring it right here, right now.
Center
I can
myself.
get through this, right? But when you're stuck in a thing, it's right now. It's not.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And that's with anything. Like, listen, for me growing up, it was you were on the clock all the time. You had to have awareness around you
Sure.
for who walks in that door, what's happening. When you're in a room and people swinging on vines through your windows and take most of your family. I mean, there's a lot of bad shit, right?
Drew, that was National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Oh, that's right. I get those confused sometimes.
Freeze.
But,
But-
you grew up with
but
apes? You said lions.
It
like
doesn't
Tarzan?
matter what from the neighborhood you're
Yeah.
from or whatever. If it's crossing town. Listen, there was a quick story. There was a time where I had to work at 7th Avenue Motors in Maywood, and I stuck
Shout
out.
out.
I stuck out with a sore thumb. I was friends with a lot of African Americans that were there, and we're in my car, and my buddy Terry was like, "Hey man, you drive me home?" I said, "Sure." He said, "We'll pick up a case of Molson Ice real quick." He said, "We'll drive me to my cousin's house," and I said, "All right." So I got this little MR2 that's tuned up and loud and everything else, right? So we're driving Maywood, and I started noticing that I'm
The only one.
right, golf ball in space right now, and it was a little unsettling. And he's like, "No, it's cool you're with me." I'm like, "But what if they don't like you?" And see-through thing through my window right now, and they don't care where that bullet goes to get to you, right? And so we pull up to this guy's house, and I'm standing there, and I'm holding this case of Molson Ice, and it's dark out. It's getting darker out now. Across the street in the neighborhood, what I can tell is maybe like 30 or 40 African Americans sitting on a porch, right? And Terry's standing next to me. They don't see him. It's dark. They see me. He just yells out the word, "What up?"
Mhm.
It looked like water pouring off of a porch at high speed coming right at me.
Oh boy.
Until he stepped in front of me. He was like, no, it was me, man. It was me. And they're like, "Oh, man, Terry, you can't be doing that." I turned around to a shotgun in my face. To this dude that's like, "You're on the wrong lawn, white boy." And I was like, "Are you Terry's cousin? I got your Molson Ice." I didn't know what else to say. So I'm
Right.
freaking out. That's the heart drop type scenario. And listen, friends with most of them now. It doesn't even matter.
Right.
I can go through that neighborhood and they'd be like, "Oh, hey, what's up, Drew?"
Right.
It wouldn't even matter. But when you feel like you're the odd man out, and so it doesn't really matter. Yes, you in a situation of domestic violence or having to have awareness at all times. Think about having to stay in fight or flight 24 hours a day because you just don't know the situation you're in based on the people you're around. It's crazy.
When you can tell the world when they haven't been in fight or flight, like every time I go to a restaurant, I have to be able to see all four corners, like every exit. I have to be able to see everybody.
So that's here. I don't. People are like, I'm like, nah, whatever.
I don't know.
A lot of people. So I know a lot of people that I go, "You're one of them, right?" Is I got to be able to see what's coming at me, and I'm like, I really don't care.
Yeah.
I was probably shot in the back in the old West.
Yeah, no, I get the booth. I'm
Right.
facing the door.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Sean. I'm gonna give you an air hug.
Yeah, Shayna says I attended a private channeling gallery where a girl's dad described his plane crash. He said he kept flying in the same plane when he saw his plane fall. No pain. Yeah. Yeah.
I got refill real quick.
Yeah. Go get some more of that. Your past lives apparently did not end well. No, I think you can imagine that I was that loudmouth.
He's got 9 lives. I
Well, and also, there's only one way a past life can end, right?
with the death. Right. That is.
So,
Is that what you're saying?
if a past life is it's past for a reason, so you did die. I mean,
Right. That's
since you might have lived a great life, but you died.
oh yeah. That's what I say is, and I'm still that same asshole.
Steve, can you write a book, please, about you and your mind and the manual to how to understand Steve? Because sometimes when you talk, I'm like, I don't know what the hell he just said. It's like a doctor, and I'm like, can you bring it down to layman's terms?
Yeah.
You're very and educated, and I love being around you. You make us all better, but I need a manual sometimes.
I think I appreciate that. You also got to keep in mind it's 5 a.m. in Vegas, or it was.
It was, yeah. Well, I get up at 4 every morning. Don says, no one says that in their past lives they were just a regular schmo with no story to tell. That's true. That's true. Shannon says, we are seeing a lot of predictive programming around the transfer of consciousness. There's a lot of that. I think I was just talking with some guys this morning at coffee. Was everything is marketed. We are being marketed, right, as we find out more and more about the conscious, self-conscious, and unconscious, and things like that. And You know, yeah, and I think we're starting to see some of that onion, peel back. Yeah. Don says too early, too deep, Shayna. But I think so. Being afraid of things, anxiety, that's typical. That's an emotion. That's something you should. But there's always that one thing
That takes over
that
everything.
just will freeze you. Right? Will just.
Yeah, the irrational fear.
Yeah. And I don't know the cause of it. Like I said, was it in a past life? Was it, why all of a sudden?
I feel like it's also like dreams. Like a lot of people talk about their subconscious. Hey, Steve, you're going to help me here because you're educating this shit.
Yeah.
People talk about like how dreams feel so real. How they're always falling from a building. And then like that tends to be their fear.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's so crazy because a lot of people think it's like whatever is on the last thing on your mind. That's what you think about. Hell no. It's the shit that we don't know we're thinking about that our mind is. And then it shows in our dream. Like a lot of us have really bad nightmares sometimes. Like my sister has had the same nightmare since she was 12 that she's getting chased. And I'm like, well, what are you running from? That's where it gets into a deeper conversation with it. But I feel like dreams also scare the shit out of people and they think it's real, but it's not real, or is it another vortex that's within our world?
Right.
Then you get that conversation that starts to happen. So I feel like there's a lot. And I feel like we have fear every day. I have fear all the time when I'm driving because I'm a cool, calm, collective driver. Don't take me to the city. I'll let every motherfucker go in front of me before I go. We'll be an hour late to the damn show. So, no damn accident.
Totally me. I'm at the point where I find a spot going to the city where I can park my car and then Uber it the rest of the way. Just, get me a black car. It's worth the money. You know what I mean?
It's so funny.
Absolutely.
So, but I feel like nervousness and fear are like one and the same as well, though.
Yeah.
It's kind of.
Let's see. Where did we leave off here?
Yeah, no, I read them all.
Outside of the
This one.
bottom
Outside of the Cubs game. She went to the Cubs game. Facial recognition and no cash. It's like it's slick, but concerning. Have you all had a dream of flying? I've never and feel left out. Like we have wings type of
Or just soaring through the air. You never had that flying dream where you feel absolute elation and then you wake up and you're just disappointed it wasn't real? You never had that?
No, I've never.
I have. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Actually, it was more like disappointment because I had a dream as a kid that I was running down the street. I tripped and fell and started floating.
Oh.
And then I was like, oh, but I started getting a little bit higher.
Awesome.
Then I started falling again. I was like, no. And then I woke up and I was like, wait a minute.
Oh.
I'm like,
When I was a kid, I used to do a lot of swimming, like swim team and such. And I used to have this dream, and it wasn't a nightmare because it's like not like a drowning dream. It was a dream where I was stuck underwater, but it wasn't scary. It was a dream where I discovered how to breathe underwater. And I had this dream all the time, and it would be just like the flying dream. I would just be cruising around like a dolphin or something. And then I'd wake up and I'd be like, that's really disappointing. That wasn't real.
I 100% agree with that comment that you just made. 100%. You look at them with a knife in your hand and you're like, you just cheated on me in a dream. What are you talking about, honey? You weren't in my same dream?
Yeah.
And then how come some people enter in your dream that you did not ask for it to be in your dream?
I like that too. I don't.
It's even weirder when you see people in your dream that you've never met before, that don't represent anybody you've ever met or have thought about. Like, to me, that's weirder.
Yeah.
I agree.
No, I've also never had the dream and woke up angry at Alice.
No.
Sam did that to me once.
With me, though.
Must
She's
be a
like,
woman.
you should be. It was. Like,
be when we're on our period.
thought something was
Or you
happening
had a dream.
outside of her or something. And
Yeah.
I would mess. We're pranksters at my house. So there's times where I woke her up. I think it was one time I woke her up in an alarming status. And I was like, I'm like, hey, did you take the fork dog out? And she was like, I don't. She's blinking. She's thinking about what I'm saying. She's like, I don't. Yeah. No. Yeah. So there's a lot of paying of the price, right?
She hasn't had a good night of sleep in 30 years.
Yeah, it's my fault, right? I set that dynamite up and lit the fuse. But no, she I even see some of the videos that come off TikTok and they're like, I'm here to publicly apologize for
Yes.
my wife's dream of me cheating on her,
Yep.
and
Right.
also I'm sorry for
Right.
just looking at her. She's like,
But I think another like big fear this world has, like I don't have it much anymore now that I'm older and I accepted who I am for myself, is like being different than everybody else because it's not a norm, or it's a quiet norm that's silence, kind of. For an example, like the adult lifestyle, in a sense, we're going to talk about that. I just went to a party for that. But an adult lifestyle, that was big. Like Romans did that. You go back in history and that was the norm. Monogamy was not the norm. That became a religious norm.
Yeah.
So it's just when people don't accept it or agree upon it, people feel scared to speak about it. So it's just.
well, I mean, just the way I look at it, I'm the normal one. Everybody else is weird.
No.
It's just, that's how my brain works.
I wear my different weirdness as a like a badge of honor.
Right.
Yeah.
I
I wish
don't.
more people.
I
did.
like being that person because fuck you.
Right.
Right. I don't
Fuck
want to
you,
be
that's
like
right.
everybody
Right.
else. Most
Right.
people are miserable. Right. I don't necessarily want to be miserable, but that's why I love to poke the bear. That's why I love to do things, right? Because I love human reaction.
It's a shirt.
Yeah, I have.
I like being different because fuck you.
Yeah, I have one that
So
says
true.
different strokes for different folks, and it's like a bunch of different odd potatoes of doing this all weird shit.
Yeah, and and it's to me that's what I thrive on, right? When I hire somebody to come work for me, I tell them right their first day, I'm like, listen, you'll never work for anybody like me, ever. And to this day, people who worked for me 30 years ago, if I bump into them or something like, oh God, you're right, man, I've never and have
Yep.
you, and it's just because I'm like, I'm never. My husband woke up and asked, does Cinderella know you're coming? And 35 years later, I still think about it. And then Don says, we tend to think the way we are is normal. It's normal to us.
Correct. That's how I am.
And
Yeah.
Shayna says, I buy that shirt.
Shane,
Oh,
I
yeah,
actually
you
have a website that's coming up on Tuesday next week. It's www.alwaysforever.life, and it'll have my clothing brand on there. So
Yep.
I am a business owner now. So
Hey, stand back.
Nice.
Entrepreneur.
yes, thank you very much.
Soul opener.
Self-made.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Soul opener.
Whatever you do.
You're crushing it. You're crushing it.
These
though.
are my two mannequins,
We're-
my walking mannequins. They're very beautiful. It's called the Dad Bod 2025.
There's a lot of material involved. We're costly.
He gets all the black shirts. Thank you
yes,
very much.
Yes.
And
That's the way I like it.
Racist about that.
No, that's the way I like it.
No, he's cultured.
That's right.
Absolutely. I'm Sicilian.
Yeah.
I like that on my salad. Thank you very much.
So it's
Can I have a shirt that says I'm Sicilian?
Yeah, and I'll toss you.
God, I love this girl. Man.
Yeah, I grew up around people 20 years plus older.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
Shayna, my latest T-shirt picture of a bunch of different beers. Caption: I do
do
craft. I like that one. Very good. Very good and very clean. Can't.
Steve, you're awfully quiet. You're like Kelsey today. You okay over there?
But he just
Oh,
got
I'm
in.
doing fine.
He just got in. It's Vegas. They were at the Cinderella show and eating buffet all night. That's what they were doing.
Last night we did the Vanderpump night before. You saw Empire Strips Back. That was a good one.
Yes.
That was a good one. Night before that we did the Sphere. So
Cool, huh?
yeah,
Tell me
Empire Strips Back was a great show. Highly recommend.
Yeah. But that Sphere is a wicked cool place.
It's awesome.
I've never been there. I've heard.
It's really cool.
Go ahead, drop that in the comment.
Drop your
website.
Your website.
Lights up green. This is pretty cool.
www.
Yes.
World Wide Web. It's on the World Wide Web, everybody.
Everybody know what a World Wide Web is?
Yeah, I've never been to Vegas. Not once. A lot of people are like, "What? How could you have never gone to?" I've never been to Vegas.
That's
I don't know.
that's
if I
unfortunate.
go to Vegas. I don't know.
I passed through it. That's about it. Once.
Yeah. Sam and I come once every 2 years minimum for the Minuteman convention, which is why we're here now.
No, okay.
So
there. Yeah.
Did
Yeah,
you
it's
know-
a lot of classes and stuff during the day, but at night you got obviously all the time to yourself, so it's fun. But yeah, once every couple years we come to Vegas, and then I brought Sam here. We went out, we did a thing in the middle of the Mojave Desert. That's actually where I proposed to her.
Oh,
Oh.
nice. And she followed you home, obviously.
When you proposed, was it like, hey, Steve, let's take a walk through the desert?
Yeah, no, it's literally exactly what it was. We went out into the middle of the desert. It's for the Rise Lantern Festival, and you release 10,000 paper lanterns into the sky in the middle of the desert at the same time.
I love those.
And while they were flying up in the sky, I was behind Sam on my knee.
The good knee?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
That's well done, man.
Pretty
It was actually he took her out there to kill her, and he didn't have bullets.
Well, you know,
What are we doing out here? You marry me?
there's a lot of holes in the desert and a lot of problems buried in those holes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Holes, you know, they
Well, that's a
quicksand.
neat movie too. Holes. If you remember that.
That was a great.
Desert Proposal. Marry me, and you will be thirsty forever.
Wet or dry? You
Oh,
choose.
trust me, she is. She's also sitting right here.
Whoops. What I meant to say was Sam, Minuteman,
We love you, Sam.
right here in Crystal Lake. Decorated and printed apparel.
You'll have to tell me how Vegas goes. I've never been there. I've only driven past it when we went to Texas, and there was a car blown up. But that's about the most exciting
Yeah,
it ever got
Look,
for me.
I've always been a huge proponent of coming to Vegas, and I'm not a gambler, but always been a huge proponent of there's things that you just can't see. You can walk around and find 3 shows you can't find anywhere else in like a block radius. But I will say right now is the most expensive I've ever seen it ever. You're talking about one of those little cans of Truly. It's $22 right now.
Well, his hands are so big. He's like, the little
I
can.
know.
Right, I know. Where I'm like this.
Vegas is actually what the deep ocean is to dry land.
Yeah.
There's things there that you ain't
Don't
never
tell me that
seen.
No,
shit. No, I'm
right.
never gonna go.
There's things you ain't never seen or want to see necessarily.
That's true.
That's what
That could be very true. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. I've never had an itch, I guess, to go to Vegas.
Well, Don's got a comment about Vegas. What we got, Don?
Agree on Vegas. I'm not a gambler, but they do have some great shows.
Oh, and the food is incredible.
Yeah, you'll get your steps in if you go to Vegas for sure.
Well, good. Samsung Health will be like, you
Listen.
did it.
Listen, I've watched every episode, every season of CSI, and it seems every week there's serious murders in Vegas. Once a week, there's really bad ones, and then they go after CSI cops and stuff like that. So if it's that loose out there, I can't. It's
Everything's loose out there.
hey. Which,
That's not a parking garage.
Hey.
Anybody see my keys?
yeah, hello.
I just want to go to Vegas for all like the aesthetics of everything, like the Caesar Palace. Like I was told it's gorgeous, and then they have the river that goes through where you almost see, look at you. So I just want to go for that experience, because I do a lot of like marketing on T-shirts, and I might be able to find something funny and then put
Let's
like one of my things.
But Steve, does
Kelsey, you'll appreciate this. I actually thought this was awesome. Check these out. Roman statues, but done up like showgirls.
Oh, nice.
Hey, take pictures and send it in the group.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, I will.
Hey, have you seen Caesar? Does he live there?
You know what? The actual Caesar isn't here this weekend. I felt a little ripped off. I asked, but they just gave me a weird look. I guess he's not normally here on the weekends.
Damn, they're not even doing a play of him.
They created a heck of a salad.
True.
For a Roman.
Well, before we wrap it up here, we got a few more to
That's
read
what
off.
she
What do we
said.
got?
Should have worn condom.
Yeah,
Adam Sandler too, by the way, for Happy Gilmore too.
great. It's great.
Awesome movie.
Yeah.
Right.
Never seen it.
I spent 30 minutes thinking I was watching a film set because they were doing a Jason Bourne movie. Nope, just an active shooter. explains a lot. Oh my gosh. Explains the cops every 30 feet. Don says buildings look close together until you walk them. Crazy how big all the buildings are, and takes a long walk to get to the next hotel casino. So true, Don. And the other weird thing about it is, like, when you're in the sky, it just stops. I mean, there's like the last row of houses or whatever, and Vegas is just
done.
Done.
Yep.
Oh yeah, it's wild, and then it is just desert. It's crazy. It's crazy to look at.
It's not like here. You just kind of keep bleeding out to rock,
Right?
And then, it's just like,
Well, yeah, you leave here and then you're in the suburbs. There's houses, there's people, there's like little stores and stuff, parks.
right. You go 3 miles one way and it's desert. It's just
It's like a movie set.
yeah,
Right.
right.
Sounds like
basically.
right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Little playland, in the middle of nowhere.
A little bit of a.
Well, most people don't realize you could walk for 3 full city blocks and still be inside of Caesars.
Wow,
That's
Hey,
crazy.
I'm trying to get tossed. Let's go.
hey,
I don't know how to respond.
Thanks, Lucy. Shout out.
What's next on the agenda? How long are you out there for?
So Saturday night is the gala. So tomorrow night will be the big Minuteman gala, dressed up. It's like a big ball that they do. And then Sunday morning coming home. So tonight, maybe Penn and Teller 50 Years of Magic.
Awesome.
See if
Awesome.
see if I can go grab that. Either that or Jerry Seinfeld.
Ooh, Seinfeld's
That's all right too.
So big balls before Sunday. Got it.
Yeah,
Nice.
nice.
But yeah, here's the wild thing about Vegas, right? I went to the Sphere. My ticket was $115. I went out to dinner afterward. My drink was $60. My meal was $70. I paid more and that wasn't even a fancy place. That was just like a normal place in Vegas right now. If you go to Walgreens and just buy like a bunch of snacks, you could go to Vegas and still get all those shows for cheap. So like that's my favorite part. Like I'm really not liking spending money on all the food, but the shows are awesome.
Yeah. And speaking of awesome shows, today at 3, we got 2 gregarious guys coming in talking about the smartest and dumbest shit they've ever done, which is going to be a good one. And that's at 3. We got Stories of the Pair now. You know what I'd love them cover is Beyond the Ice in Antarctica. Have you seen this stuff with the green parts and the little villages and civilization that they have?
That's right.
Uncovering very interesting stuff. Lisa Rock the Boat. She recorded her next one this week. It's a great show. And shout out to our friends over at Salon Cora.
Salon Cora.
Salon Cora. If you need a pedi, a mani, if you need your hair blown out, redone, if you just want to be pampered, head over to Salon Cora here in Crystal Lake. They'll treat you like family. Refreshing. And you know what? School's going to be starting soon. Here we are, August 1st already. School's going to be starting soon, and nothing like a fresh start. Go over to Salon Cora. Check them out at Salon Cora.
Yeah, awesome. And don't forget, it was school starting. You got a kid in band. Piano Trends here, Crystal Lake. PianoTrends.com. If you're looking to rent an instrument, rent to own, and or looking for lessons. And you now can come to the 21/6 studio to do some of those lessons, which is pretty cool that we're working with them on that. So check them out, guys. PianoTrends.com. Go in there, get greeted with a big smile. Tim Paul, probably one of the coolest people on the planet. Go local, man. Shop local.
That's it.
That's just the way to do it.
What's some new comments there? Let's just grab those before we jump out of here, but we got to get going. I just took it back. Have a great weekend, y'all. And then he says, why did you take over? No, number one, Shane. I just took it back. That's it. Like, share, subscribe, absolutely. Share us out with all your friends. Bless you all for being in. Thanks for getting up early, Steve-O. Glad that you hit. We don't want to rock the boat, so it's good. There we go. But listen, for all of us here at 216 Creator Studios, we love you. Thanks for joining. Next Friday, we'll do it all over again right here on the grounds.
Sounds good. Take care,
Bye,
guys.
Steve.
Oh, and remember, be the change you want to be.
Okay.
I can and I will.
I'll see you guys next